I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, and talk about just personal reflections that I'm having in personal quiet time when you are able to just briefly glimpse the secret place of the Most High, as the Bible says. In fact, I wasn't intending to do this on air now, but I was going to do it later. But will you guys pull me up the verse of dwell in the secret place of the Most High? I want to be able to read that full verse to people. And even if you don't believe in God, believe in spirituality, believe in an afterlife, believe in things outside of our five senses, which we know are there. In fact, most of the universe is outside of our five senses. And the sixth sense has been documented. But I had a real moment of clarity this morning. Well, more than a moment. It was about an hour of clarity. And I want to try to, feebly as I may, transmit that information, at least from my perspective, and hopefully it can help you, and then you can, obviously comment on INFOWARS.com and call into the show and give me your take on it as well, and together we can become stronger. It's the 91st Psalm. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall remain stable and fixed under the shadow of the Almighty, whose power no foe can withstand. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God. On him I lean and rely, and in him I confidently trust. That's right. You've got to have a North Star, and all the psychological studies show this, that the most free and prosperous cultures the world has ever seen have been truly Christian. The problem is that the wealth that those societies create then creates decadence and the fall. And we saw this with Israel in its thousands of pre-Christian years, when they would follow God's commandments and become incredibly successful and powerful, and then become decadent and leave the commandments, and then be overrun with the corrupt, and then finally collapse and go into bondage. But I want to say that verse again to everybody out there before I get into the news. May we dwell in the secret place of the Most High. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall remain stable and fixed under the shadow of the Almighty, whose power no foe can withstand. Just saying that verse, I can feel the secret place of the Most High. And I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed of who I am and of all of my imperfections when I glimpse from afar the secret place of the Most High. I do not dwell in the secret place of the Most High. But just like the silver lining of a cloud, I am able to see just the edge of it. And there is great peace and great majesty therein. And I think about what's happened in our culture. I think about everything that I see and all the psychology and all the psychological warfare I've studied and all the public relations and PR that I've studied that I use none of. I've gone and studied what the deceivers do, and they themselves are deceived, the most deceived. They're now rolling out the fact that they have been deceiving us, but claiming that it was for our own good. That itself another deception within a deception within a deception. But it really hit me. An image of astronauts spacewalking. This is my allegory, or my analogy, or my parable. I've seen interviews with astronauts that have done the big extended spacewalks, going out and working on the International Space Station, working on their module, working on their capsule, working on the space shuttle when there's a problem, going out to do repairs. And they describe the first time you do it, even though you've been trained, when you come out and you're looking into the deepness of eternity and space, and then looking down hundreds of miles towards the earth, that it is a frightening but also exhilarating and gripping feeling. And that you feel almost a Zen timelessness of all that was, is, and will be. And it's 1,000 times that exhilarating but also frightening feeling to stand on the edge of a cliff looking down thousands of feet into a gorge and a river below, and to feel a gust of wind blow from behind you and almost have you topple down to your death. You see eternity laying there before you, and whether you consciously admit it or not, your spirit, your gut, your soul, your genetics, your cells that grew out of this creation, whether you believe in God or not, you are part of this creation and connected to all of it. You sense something 1,000 times being on the edge of the cliff, 1,000 times spacewalking, and experiencing something that humans in their entire development never experienced. It is beyond that you are in eternity, and that we are all on an incredible spacewalk right now on this planet with all of this mystery and majesty and the relationships and the men, the women, the children, your ancestors, the people you currently know, and those that will come in the future. It is an epic adventure. And then I see the general public, and all the studies show this, becoming more narcissistic, more megalomania is popping up, more people are going insane, believing that they're movie stars, that they're rock stars. More people are becoming arrogant and spiteful and cheating their friends and family, and thinking that because they have knowledge of evil and are engaged in it, that somehow they've got power. That's because they have no North Star. They have no secret place of the Most High. They don't even have a connection to that. They can't even imagine that in their heart of hearts. And so they're just running wild, completely freaked out, completely scared, thinking, oh, Madison Avenue in Hollywood says that if I looked like a supermodel, I'd be happy. And then you grow old, and it's not about your grandchildren or your husband or your children or about helping orphans. It's about how you're not beautiful anymore, in quotes, and so you degenerate and become a wicked old witch. Or you struggle your whole life and have a wife and children, but you want to be a rap star, or you want to be a rock star, or you want to be a top basketball player, or you want to be a movie star. And because you were never able to do that, you're totally unhappy and have a nervous breakdown. I can't tell you how many people I have known throughout my life, friends, family, neighbors, you name it, that don't become as successful as they wanted to be and then have a nervous breakdown and go insane. All of you right now know people that have done that. That's the most common thing that makes people go insane. Or they get incredible success and then go on a power trip and go crazy. When everything that you could ever want was right there. Friends, family, being honorable, being loving, being strong, being heroic, being true. But the world tells you those things are a joke. Those things make you fail. And the truth is, that's a lie. And it just hit me this morning. I went for a jog for a couple miles and then walked back early in the morning. And it was so beautiful. The trees and the flowers and a rabbit I saw run across the path and a babbling brook. Staring into the blue sky that went on for eternity. That I was gripped with the understanding of the cycles that humanity has gone through. And it was so sad to realize how shuttered, how closed in, how dumbed down, how unaware of the average person is. And it's been done artificially. It's been done artificially by this sick modern culture. And it's not technology itself that's evil. It is the architecture of the way it's been deployed for full spectrum dominance is just a blasphemous crime against our species. And I think about third world villages I've been in with poor children with cane poles, with electricity in their eyes, so happy to be staring into a beautiful stream, catching fish. And then I think about rich, wealthy, decadent children, totally confused, totally upset, running to and fro to play dates and events and different activities, desperately looking for fulfillment with their mothers and their fathers, desperately looking for fulfillment when fulfillment was already there in the secret place of the Most High. And that the whole world has now been built, even of old, the old temples, the old systems, the old art of the secret priesthoods, to suppress the fact that majesty and wonder and creation is all around us, and that we are fulfilled by simply breathing air into our lungs, and that we are now being put into a fully artificial cage, an artificial habitat, a giant electromagnetic gulag in the preparation for world mass extermination. And it's all public, it's all admitted. The NSA is on record spying on the general public. We're going to get to that when we come back.